dear learners. Welcome again to week 3, lecture 13 of our course Child's Growth and Development. Some common motor skills of childhood and conditions that influence the rate of motor development is our lecture 13. We will discuss some common motor skills of childhood, variations in children's motor skills, and the conditions that influence the rate of motor development, and there are certain references for your further studies. Dear learners, motor skill development is a fundamental aspect of childhood growth, enabling children to interact effectively with their physical as well as social environments. Motor skills encompass both gross motor skills, which involve large muscle groups, arms, legs, torso, and fine motor skills, which involve smaller muscles, especially those of the hands and fingers. These skills develop through a combination of maturation, practice, cultural expectations, and environmental opportunities being given to the child. Although developmental sequences are biologically determined, the pace of skill acquisition varies across individuals due to familial, socio-cultural, motivational, and physical factors. In every culture, certain motor skills become common because children are expected to perform daily self-help tasks, participate in play, and follow social norms. For example, children learn to feed themselves independently. They dress independently, write, and engage in age-appropriate play activities. These expectations form part of the developmental tasks of childhood. These patterns of behavior expected of children during specific stages of life. In the US and similarly in many other cultures in India also, skills involving hands and arms tend to develop earlier than those involving legs and feet because fine motor control follows cephalocaudal and proximodistal principles of development. Furthermore, daily routines and school-related activities offer greater opportunities for practice of hand-based skills compared to leg-based skills. Consequently, hand skills are more numerous, better practiced, and better refined in most children by the age when they go to school. The following section provides a detailed yet concise discussion of the common childhood motor skills, including self-feeding, ball throwing and catching, climbing, and riding tricycles, bicycles, along with an exploration of factors that contribute variations in children's motor skill mastery. In this lecture, I will briefly discuss the most common motor skills of childhood, their expected developmental sequences, and the variations observed among children that may be because of the sex, socio-economic background, family environment, their personality, and the individual body build. So, here are some common motor skills of childhood, and we will discuss the briefly the major areas. Hand skills. Hand skill involves the coordinated use of arms, hands, and fingers for tasks requiring manipulation, control, and precision. During early childhood, shoulder and wrist control matures rapidly, allowing children to perform gross hand movements. However, fine motor control of the fingers develops more gradually and continues to refine even when he comes to adolescent age. Developmental progress. By age 12, arm, shoulder, and wrist control approaches adult like precision. Fine finger control, necessary for fast handwriting or playing instruments, typically matures after age 12. Children engage more frequently in hand based tasks, leading to better mastery and higher quality performance than many leg skills. We will discuss some common hand skills. These are self-feeding, self-dressing, self-grooming, writing and copying, throwing and catching balls, and block building. Because these skills are essential for independence and social participation, children are encouraged to develop them from infancy through the preschool years. Let's discuss self-feeding skills. Self-feeding is among the earliest self-help skills and follows a clear developmental sequence. What are the developmental milestones in self-feeding? 8 months baby. Babies can hold a bottle placed in their mouth. 9 months, they can remove and replace the bottle independently. By the age when he or she reaches 11 to 12 months or almost 1 year, they begin to hold cups briefly and attempt to feed themselves with a spoon, typically spilling the food. 2 years, children can use both fork and spoon effectively. 3-year child, they can spread butter or jam with a knife. 4 years child, with practice, many children can cut tender meat independently. 5 to 6 years, most self-feeding tasks are mastered if children receive guidance and practice, and all these milestones can be achieved very easily when the parents and caretakers give enough opportunities. Don't fear about the spilling of the food, or they will do all the things untidy. No, that doesn't matter. Give maximum exposure to the child within your with your guidance and support. Significance. Self-feeding skills enhance independence, eye-hand coordination, fine motor control, and self-confidence. Also the decision making. What to eat, how to eat, and when to stop eating, when his or her tummy is filled. This is very important decision making skill that the child learns at this particular age when he or she self-feed. Next is ball throwing and catching. Ball skills require coordination of gross and fine motor abilities and are strongly influenced by practice and motivation. Throwing. Some toddlers try to throw or roll balls before age 2. At 4 years, few can throw proficiently. By the age when they reach 6 years, most children display skillful throwing, though individual variations are large. Catching. Catching is another skill, and it is more skilled than the throwing. Catching is more complex because it requires anticipation, timing, and coordination. At 4 years, few children catch a ball well. By 6 years, nearly 2/3 can catch balls with increasing control. Early catching involves whole body movements. Gradually, children develop coordinated palm-based catches. What is the importance of this? Ball skills develop coordination, visual motor integration, and social play abilities, often influencing peer acceptance. You must have seen this. Those who have good friends, they are friends because of their competency and skills. He and she catches very fast and very accurately, never miss a catch. So this is very important for the peer acceptance, this particular competency, doing well in play and sports. Leg skills. Leg skills develop rapidly after children begin to walk and involve balance, strength, and coordination. Early milestones for leg skills are 18 to 24 months, means almost 1.5 years to 2 years. Children walk sideways, backwards, and they stand briefly on one foot with support. 2 to 3 years, they walk downstairs with help and begin to balance independently. 5 to 6 years, children can walk on tiptoe and balance on narrow planks or chalk lines. Leg skills often develop more slowly than hand skills because they require greater balance and involve large muscle groups. Next, we will do climbing. Climbing is an extension of crawling and creeping movements, and the developmental sequence is: before walking, babies climb stairs using crawling patterns. Before 2 years, they walk up and down stairs with support using one advancing foot and dragging the other up. By 3 years, they continue alternating feet with assistance. Early milestones are 18 to 24 months, children walk sideways. At 4 years, many children use the adult method of climbing stairs without support, provided they get frequent practice. Climbing develops strength, coordination, spatial awareness, and confidence. Now we will see tricycling and bicycling. Cycling skills require the integration of balance, coordination, and motor planning. Tricycling, by the age of 2 years, a few toddlers begin riding, but most push the tricycle without paddling. 3 to 4 years, almost all children who have opportunities to learn to ride tricycles confidently, and children may engage in stunts, riding on 2 wheels or standing, which increase risk also. Bicycling, by 5 to 6 years, children start learning to ride bicycles. This skill requires 6 months to 1 year of consistent practice due to its complexity. Balance plus locomotion. Once mastered, cycling significantly enhances spatial thinking, independence, and physical fitness. Now, after doing these leg skills, hand skills, tricycling, bicycling, we will see how individual students or children, they vary. So, variations in children's motor skills. Although certain motor skills appear common across all the cultures, across the cultural groups, developmental pathways vary widely. Differences stem from access to learning opportunities, motivation, body type of the individual child, gender norms, and socio-economic conditions. The first particular variation is because of the sex difference. Early childhood, no significant sex differences when opportunities are equal. Kindergarten onward, that is KG onward, Cultural expectations create these differences. Boys often excel in tasks requiring strength and gross coordination, for example, throwing. Girls often show better manual dexterity and fine motor control. Social encouragement largely explains these differences. The second variation or difference is because of the socio-economic status. Children from lower socio-economic backgrounds, they often master self-help skills earlier, not due to faster maturation, but due to greater expectations for independence, less parental time available for assistance. Family size also affects skills. Children from large families learn more tasks earlier than those from small families. And the third factor for individual differences or variations is body build of the child. Body type influences motor learning. Mesomorphic, that is a strong and muscular body type, they learn more and better quality motor skills due to strength and endurance. Ectomorphic, that is slender body type, they lower strength and endurance limit performance. And in endomorphic, rounded body type, they may appear clumsy and they tire easily due to weaker muscles. And the fourth factor for variation is personality and motivation. Children who seek peer acceptance or hold feelings of inadequacy often work harder to learn socially valued skills, for example, swimming and other activities. Children who prefer solitary activities may invest less time in motor skill development. Another factor is age. Older children naturally possess more skills, a wide range of skills, better quality and refinement of skills. Age brings maturity, practice and confidence, all contributing to motor growth. Motor skills form a cornerstone of childhood development, shaping children's independence, learning capabilities, social participation, and their self-esteem. Although children across cultures tend to acquire common sets of motor skills, the pace and quality of development it varies widely. Factors such as biological maturation, cultural expectations, socio-economic conditions, family environment, personality trait of that particular child, body build of the individual child, all contribute to these variations. Understanding the typical sequence and influencing factors of motor skill development helps parents, educators, and caregivers provide appropriate support, rich learning environments to the child, and maximum opportunities for practice, ensuring that all children reach their full developmental potential. So now, after doing all these factors for variation, now discuss the conditions that influence the rate of motor development. Dear learners, although motor development follows universal principles such as cephalocaudal and proximodistal progression, children do not develop motor skills at exactly the same pace. Each child shows an individual pattern due to genetic, biological, environmental, and psychosocial factors. Some conditions accelerate the motor growth while others slow it down. Understanding these factors enables educators and parents to provide better support during early years. Individual variations arise from both biology and environment, and the major conditions influencing the rate of motor development are here. First condition is genetic condition. Genetic factors strongly influence motor development. Body build affects strength, balance, and coordination, while intelligence contributes to learning motor sequences and problem solving during movement. Mesomorphic children generally show faster motor progress than ectomorphic or endomorphic children due to better muscle mass and energy levels. Higher cognitive ability also supports quicker learning of complex motor skills. Activity level of the fetus. More active fetuses tend to show quicker motor development after birth unless hindered by poor environmental conditions. Prenatal movement helps neurological maturation, preparing the infant for early postnatal motor milestones. Third is favorable prenatal conditions, especially maternal nutrition. Adequate maternal nutrition, prenatal care of the mother, and absence of harmful substances support the development of the fetal nervous and muscular systems. These conditions result in faster motor progress compared to infants with poor prenatal environments. So, this prenatal environment of the child is very, very important. Difficult birth and brain damage. Complications during birth, that is the perinatal period, natal period, especially those causing temporary or mild brain damage, can delay early motor milestones such as crawling, sitting, or walking. Birth asphyxia or prolonged labor may affect the infant's neuromuscular systems. Next is postnatal health and nutrition. Good health during infancy and early childhood supports rapid motor development. Adequate protein, vitamins, minerals, and oral nutrition enhance muscle growth, energy availability, and neural functioning. Illness, malnutrition, or chronic infections can slow this motor progress. Intelligence level. High IQ. Children with higher IQ intelligence quotient usually learn motor tasks faster because they can understand instructions better, plan the actions, and coordinate bodily movements efficiently. Low cognitive levels may slow down these new skill acquisition. Stimulation, encouragement, and practice opportunities. Adequate stimulation such as toys, physical play, and freedom of movement accelerates motor development. Encouragement from caregivers and repeated practice improve skills like walking, climbing, throwing, and catching. Overprotectiveness by adults is the very important factor hampering or affecting the motor skills, motor development. Overprotective parenting restricts children's opportunities to explore, take risks, and practice movement. And it also further affects the social development of the child. This lack of experience delays motor development even when children are physically ready for that particular task. Freedom to move is essential for motor growth. Now the birth order, firstborn versus later born. Firstborn children often develop motor skills earlier because Parents give them more attention, stimulation, and opportunities for independent behavior. And the later born children, they may take longer due to shared attention or over dependence on the older siblings for their task. Prematurity. Premature infants generally show delayed motor development because their neuromuscular systems are less mature at birth. They may require extra time and support to catch up with full-term infants. Divyang, for example, children with special needs, we say CWSN, children with special needs or children with special educational needs, for example, blindness or visual impairment, physical disabilities. Visual impairments, limb deformities, or other physical defects create challenges in motor coordination and movement. For example, visually impaired children may struggle with balance and spatial orientation. These conditions slow motor progress. For them, we have to skill them in orientation and mobility skills. And the 12th factor is sex, racial, and socio-economic differences. Differences in motor development across groups are shaped more by motivation, cultural expectations, environmental opportunities, and training than by heredity. Boys often develop faster in strength-based skills due to social encouragement. In fact, due to more exposure outside. Girls may excel in fine motor tasks due to cultural training. Children from lower socioeconomic backgrounds may learn self-help skills earlier because parents have less time for assistance. Motor development is universal in pattern but highly individualized in pace. Biological factors like genetics, prenatal health, and birth conditions interact with environmental factors such as nutrition, malnutrition, undernutrition, stimulation, parenting style, overprotective parents, and cultural expectations. Here gender differences come. Understanding these influences help parents, teachers, and caregivers provide supportive environments that maximize children's motor growth and overall development. Finally, we can conclude this lecture, motor development, though it is universal in its basic sequence. It varies widely in pace due to biological, environmental, and psychosocial factors. Children acquire common motor skills such as hand use, self-feeding, leg skills, climbing, and cycling as part of the normal developmental tasks. But opportunities for practice and cultural expectations strongly shape their mastery. Favorable prenatal conditions, adequate nutrition, intelligence, and stimulating environments accelerate motor growth, whereas prematurity, illness, birth complications, or overprotectiveness may slow it down. Differences in sex, socio-economic level, personality traits, and body build further contribute to individual variability. Understanding these influences allows parents, teachers, and caregivers to provide enriched, supportive environments that promote optimal motor skill development. A holistic, child-centered approach ensures that all children reach their full physical, social, and cognitive potential. There are certain references for you to read more. Thank you and happy learning.